ロボットが巡回警備中です。ご注意ください。Robots are on guard duty. Please be careful.
We spent our first full day in Japan traveling from Tokyo to Hokkaido. We went to Narita Airport. We got there very early in the morning, and so we had a little bit of time to pass before our flight. And so we decided to check out the domestic terminal at Narita Airport. We have never been to the domestic terminal before, and we're actually quite pleasantly surprised at the amenities that they had. They had a huge food court where people can relax before their flight. They even had a whole convenience store open. They also had a cleaning station where you can clean the tables, hand sanitizing. There's a charging station, and there was also the trash where you can sort your trash. The thing that I guess I've heard about Narita Airport before, but I've never actually seen, was their running track. They have a huge rubberized track that goes through many places in the airport, which was kind of amazing to see. After we had a little bit of breakfast, we went ahead and checked in. We flew Jetstar Airways, and my son likened Jetstar to Southwest as the equivalent in the United States. They're very strict about their weight requirement. I had to pay extra for our carry-on bags, and they literally weighed our carry-on bags and stood there with a calculator and added the combined weight of all of our bags. And if we were over, which they told us initially we were, then we would have to pay extra. But I told them that I had already paid extra ahead of time. I'd prepaid for it when I checked in, and so they said, okay, then we were okay. We were under the weight limit. We got to the gate area, and it's very basic. There isn't a whole lot there. And then there was also some massage chairs. There was a smoking area. There was a place where mothers can breastfeed their children. It was all just very laid back. They also had another weighing station, so if you checked in and didn't weigh your luggage at the beginning, you could go ahead and do it here at the gate. There was a nice Jetstar Airway convenience store where you could buy items from the airline. They had t-shirts, pens, and even teddy bears. So it was cute that they had these airline branded merchandise to purchase. I forgot to add that when you were at the gate before you got to the gate and you checked in your luggage, you had to self-check in your check-in luggage, and so you had to stay there, scan your boarding pass, and send your luggage on its way. When it was time for us to board, we boarded, but this was not like your typical boarding experience that most major airports have. This was kind of like if you've ever flown out of Kona Airport, where you actually have to walk on the tarmac to the plane and up some stairs. This is kind of like that. We had to check in for our flight, and then we walked down some stairs, and then we had to catch a bus over to the plane. And then while we were on the bus, you could see the pilot physically walking around the plane doing visual inspections, which was kind of cool. It was nice that he was taking that extra step to make sure that the plane was safe.
Now, 安全運転で参りますが、事故防止のため、やむを得ず急ブレーキをかけることがございますので、走行中は十分ご注意ください。We will now depart. Passengers who are standing, please hold on to a nearby handrail or overhead strap. Safe driving is our motto. However, due to unforeseen traffic development, this bus may be forced to brake suddenly, so please be careful. お待たせしました。まもなく到着いたします。お降りの際、足元にご注意の上、お忘れ物のございませんようお願いいたします。ご乗車お疲れ様でした。We will soon be arriving. Please make sure you have all your belongings with you when you get off the bus. Please watch your step. ただいま、機内の最終確認を行っています。しばらくお待ちください。The plane is now undergoing a final check. Please wait.
We could climb up the stairs, got on the plane. There is no boarding order, just kind of however you step off the bus is how you board the plane. So we were close to the door, so we were able to be one of the first onto the plane. The plane itself was actually very nice for a budget airlines. Lots of space, lots of room.
Into the overhead locker. We are expecting a full flight today. As the overhead locker space is limited, we kindly ask that each passenger stow only one large item, such as a suitcase, in the overhead locker. Please place handbags and smaller personal items under the seat in front of you. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Under the aviation regulations, please be advised that charging your power banks is prohibited during flight. Additionally, using your personal within your immediate reach and not in the overhead locker. For your comfort, there are 3 lavatories on board. One
Once again, everyone, 1, 18, 19, 29, and 38. Restore all
Got on the plane, we had pre-ordered a hot meal, and the hot meal that we had pre-ordered, and this was when we booked the flight, the pre-ordered meal that we had booked, I had ordered a chicken curry. My son ordered a hamburger curry. We had a yakisoba, and I can't remember what the other option was, but there was 4 options that you could pre-order. But it's all very nice because we got one hot beverage, and the hot beverage could either be like a tea, coffee, or soup. I got the soup.
So you just have a voucher, 500 Japanese yen each passenger.
Okay, yeah, so you can 500. You want to do one of this? One snack or one this? You want to do one snack, one drink?
Sure.
Okay. Which one do you want?
And then on top of that, which we didn't know, is that every passenger gets an extra 500 yen credit to spend on board. And what's really interesting about this is that you could spend it however you want it. So you could get a set, like Japanese food in general, whenever you order food, comes in sets. They like to do sets where you get a drink and a snack. And so in this case, you could get a cold drink and a snack, or you could go ahead and buy merchandise. So they had things like little toy planes and little pens that you could buy with your 500 yen credit. We each opted to get a snack. I got a kuchen, I believe. It looked like a bomb kuchens that they sell at Muji, these tiny little like donut-like things. And I got a cold iced tea. But it's very nice. I think more airlines should allow you to do that, where you can go ahead and get a set rather than whatever snacks they choose to give you. Once we got to Sapporo, new Chitose Airport in Sapporo, it was more like your traditional airport where you had to wait for the jet bridge to connect to the plane, and then you walk off the plane to the jet bridge down into the terminal. So that was different compared to what we did in Narita. But I'm excited to see what Hokkaido has in store for us. I've never been to Hokkaido before, so stay tuned for the next part of our adventure.
Nihon 航空よりご搭乗時刻とご搭乗の順番についてご案内いたします。続いて搭乗券または搭乗案内に記載されているグループ番号順にご案内いたします。
Oh, that's fine. All right,